Here we go, guys. Welcome everybody to Game 2, Max versus Lix, King of the Desert. Memb hosted and memb support, community supported tournament. Again, I want to reiterate, thank you to Memb for putting this together. Thank you to his community for donating to the prize pool. And I would urge you to be aware of the fact that Memb is streaming this at the same time as me. And you should go and watch his stream and support him before me. Memb TV is his Twitch link. So I'm sure Basti will post it in the chat for us. So over to the west of the map, in the blue, we have Max playing as the Ethiopians here. On the east side of the map, Lix getting that Vietnamese in there in the red. And to be perfectly honest with you, Ethiopians, hands down for me, the Civ for this matchup. Like, this is the Civ which I believe should have the advantage here on a Civ basis alone. Obviously, we saw Lix in the first game going balls to the wall. He played a fantastically aggressive game. It was a treat. It was a pleasure to watch. And I think it's hard to replicate that with the Vietnamese. I mean, you know, maybe you can pull something off like that, but not quite the same as the Incas, I feel. Whereas the Ethiopians, if Max can get off a Drush FC here, and we're going to look at his map very soon, if Max can get off a Drush FC, I think he's just in a far superior position. If we go late game, then I think the Ethiopians are going to lose that edge to the Vietnamese archers. Since the Vietnamese, obviously, very counter-archer civ, and the Ethiopians do get their, the focus for the Ethiopians is going to be on the archers, faster-firing archers. But it's going to be a while before the Vietnamese really, I think, get to pull that off. I think the Drush FC from the Ethiopians is going to be their main selling point here. But Lix coming in straight away, once again, with the scout. And we saw him lame last time. It looks like he's going to do the same again. Can he make it work? With that said, Max is also laming at the same time, bringing a boar across the map right now from Lix. So, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. And Lix actually going to lose the boar. It's going to run back. So let's see if Max can pull his boar in successfully without losing his scout. These boar do bonus damage to the scouts in the expansions. So it is riskier to steal the boar. But he's going to try and pull this one off. Lix cannot stop it. His scout is too far away. And Max is going to get his revenge. His just desserts after the first game. Lix is going to get a taste of his own medicine. A steal for a steal. And, oh, the scout's going to go down. Oh, the villager's blocking it. Max will pay dearly for that extra 300 food. You could argue that that may not even be worthwhile in the end. It depends how much of his own map he's scouted, but that's going to cost him. Jeez. Has he found all of his resources? Has he found all of his sheep? I think he's missing 2 sheep. Looks like Lix may have stolen a couple of sheep from Max there when he came forward. So Lix is going to get 200 food from Max in the form of 2 sheep. And the boar is going to be stolen from Max. So it's offset. He's only really stolen 140 food and he's lost his scout. That's a big price to pay as he's going to be playing blind now. They call it the Dark Age for a reason. It's because the map is pitch black. For Max, he fortunately does see the berry bush here, so he knows where Lix is. It's not like he's completely unaware of Lix's position. He knows he's over here, just on his scouting alone, but obviously, if Killer B was here now, he'd be chastising Max. He'd be saying, hey Max, look at this man, you're scouting points, not scoring a high score. Now, we were saying before, if the Ethiopians can pull off a Drush FC, they are in the money. But after losing his scout, I don't know if Max is going to want to go for the Drush FC. He's throwing down the barracks right now, though. 7 minutes 30. It's a minute late for a Drush, but he may go for the man-at-arms. And if he can follow up with a wall off and an FC, I think he's in a good position there. But the man-at-arms play is completely viable, reasonable. Lix may just go straight into archers here. We will have to wait and see. He's taking the time right now to push the deer in. Oh, happy day for Lix. He still has a scout. He can still push those deer into his TC. And he also does see as well that Max is taking the gold. He's put the palisades around the gold here to scout that out. Why did he put the palisades here? He wants to know that Max is going to drush. And he would see the villagers gathering the gold early, and he'd know, okay, the drush is coming in. But Max, he is kind of semi-drush. I mean, we know he's going man-at-arms. Well, actually, no, he's not going man-at-arms. In fact, I take that back because he's not sent more villagers to gold. He's baiting and outsmarting us right now. He's actually sending 4 villagers forward, sending a militia forward, and it's going to be Max to go aggressive here. Now, he doesn't have any map vision. He doesn't know that Lix's gold is forward in a bad place. In fact, Lix is sending 1 villager forward as well, and they're going to completely miss each other over here. And like I say, Max is playing in the dark. He is unaware of exactly what's going on, but those 4 villagers, the brave adventurers, looking for the new world, looking to find Lix's base over here, as Lix is sending his attack over as well. Max, will he spot it this time? Surely he will. Yes, he will. He'll see the villager. He'll see the scout, but he'll walk on by. Dun, 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 dun. Walk on by. Anyway, Max here is coming in on north side, going to drop the tower. He does have enough vision, like I say, on the berries to at least know that the tower is there. And actually, you know what? I'm an idiot. He doesn't need gold. He's the Ethiopians. He gets 100 food and gold when he reaches the feudal age. That is enough food and gold to upgrade men-at-arms, as well as make 3 militia as well. So he is going to have 3 men-at-arms, and he's coming in hot into that wood line of Lix right now. Lix, not prepared for this at all. No walls up at all. And these villagers, well, look at that. 5 villagers going idle immediately. 1 man-at-arm getting some mob justice right there. Vigilante justice. Gonna lose that. That was messy from Max. He should have attacked with all 3. Really, he should have gone in with all 3. And then he would have been able to take the fight, probably take down a villager. But as it stands, no villager has even lost a piece of health so far. Can he get a single villager here? Lix might play this well and take all these men-at-arms down. At the same time, he's building a tower on the wood line of Max right now. Gonna get away with it as well. And Max did get his tower up on the berries. So this is going to be one of those games. Lix, though, not messing around. He's going to rush the tower down here, and I love Lix's position. I think Max has had a messy start. That losing his scout maybe costing him a little bit there. I'm not sure if I'm sold on the strat necessarily as well. I'm not sure I'm sold on this blind kind of men-at-arms and tower play. He's going to try come around the back. He'll try and get maybe a tower up here, but Lix is already ready with the archers. And these archers do have 3 additional health thanks to the Vietnamese bonus of the health bonus on all their archers. 3 extra health. It's I'm not sure how formidable that is actually. I think it will help once fletching is up. Like they'll tank an extra arrow, so it certainly adds up. But the archers here, like I say, already in position, and Max is going man-at-arms into Vietnamese archers. It's a very questionable decision, I think, from him. Lix already has got fletching done. And look at those men-at-arms chunking here. They're chunking health as they just get battered by these archers on the hill. Not a pretty fight, not a pretty sight for Max right there. Look at them getting just obliterated here. Ugly stuff. Tower war at the back. Max is going to be fine for now. How did these villagers all get so low? That is probably thanks to Lix's tower, making these guys easy targets for the counter-attack of Lix when it comes in eventually. But yeah, Max now denying that gold. Much better tower from him, and at least he's taking the time to wall his towers up. But really, 2 towers here from Max. It's not the end of the world from Lix. Lix does have gold in the back if he has seen it, which he has not scouted. So, I mean, unfortunately for Lix, his own map vision is lacking. And I think actually Max may not be in such a terrible position after all. He does realize, though, that he's going to have to dig in right now. And he is going to have to start getting some walls up. Now, as we know, the Ethiopians do have the better siege. So, we were talking about late game. Vietnamese probably going to have the edge with the archers. I think that's going to be the case. But if Max can get the siege out, then he's also going to be in a position to deal with those archers as well. And it looks like Max is looking towards the late game with these walls. And with his forward aggression, it's kind of tapering off a little bit, kind of petering out. He's denying the gold. He's forcing Lix into skirms right now, and Lix won't be able to do anything with those skirms when these walls come to face him. So I think Max is in an okay position right now. Notice he's seeding more farms immediately. He wants to transition to the castle age in a good time. And I feel like we're in a similar position to last game, where Max is playing a lot more defensively. Bear in mind, Max is an arena player, so he's made his own, constructed his own arena here. But yeah, I think he's definitely got plenty of resources in his corner of the map. He's got a lot more space to work with than last game. And although it's a similar position, and that's messy, he just lost a villager on his wood line, completely unnecessarily. He could build a wood line on this right side here, and then he could avoid the tower completely. If he loses another villager... Oh my god, no. That just shouldn't happen, Max. Like, you gotta be more careful than that. You gotta check the HP of those villas, man. He will get a counter tower up. I mean, it's surely worth splitting his wood line over here anyway, but I'm guessing he's prioritizing putting farms up at this point. He's going to get the tower up. No more villagers' lives will be claimed. Oh, he was going for the market as well. That also explains it. And he should be able to now defend from this tower. Is he in range? Yeah, he's in range. So yes, I think that Max here is in an okay place. Looking at the villager count, it's fairly even. His forward aggression, okay, it didn't do too much damage, but he has denied Licks quite a bit of gold for some time, and he has forced Licks into skirms, which, as we've already said, are going to do nothing against these walls. So I think Max is probably going to have the edge when he gets to the Castle Age, which is going to be in just a few moments' time. He needs a bit more gold. He needs to maybe he'll end up selling a little bit of food at the market. He's going to throw down a mining camp on his gold right now and then transition into that Castle Age upgrade. What's he going to do when he gets there? He's got options. He's got a lot of villagers on stone still, maybe for more towers. Can he afford to build a castle with the stone that's here? Yes, he can. He could go for a castle. The issue with a castle, of course, is that it's a very static thing. He could put it defensively, but if the walls are defending, then what's the point? If he considers making Shotel warriors, then that could work out very well for him. So maybe a castle into Shotels. But I think he'd need another villager on stone to do that. What I would expect to see is maybe a siege workshop coming up quite quickly. And then defensive mangonel to take down the skirmishers and the archers, which are outside of his walls, help him to push out. But for Max right now, I think, yeah, he's got the edge here. He's going to get the 100 food and gold, of course, when he gets to the Castle Age. And I think he's going to stay on this 1 TC. I think he's going to go 1 TC aggression, to be honest. He doesn't... I mean, where would he put a second TC, really? I mean, he doesn't really have the wood for it either. Makes sense to stay on the 1 TC for now. And Max kind of showing his hand a little bit. He is doing scale barding armor, but he doesn't have a stable. And I'm wondering if maybe he's going to use... There he is. He is indeed using the forward villagers here to drop down the stable and probably go into knights then when he gets to the Castle Age now. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head what the Ethiopians' knights look like. Yeah, they don't have bloodlines. I didn't think they were great. Maybe he'll go camels then, but that does seem like an odd choice. I think knights are still okay. If he gets +2 defense, he should be able to deal with, obviously, skirmishers and crossbows in small numbers. I think we've got a castle on the way for Licks, though, at some point. That castle is going to be very useful to him because his base is quite open, actually. He's not really got many walls up, or any walls up, actually. He's way open to raiding right now, and maybe that's the plan for Max. Maybe the plan for Max is, okay, I'm going to ignore the couple of units at the edge of my base, and I'm just going to start raiding with some +2 knights here. And that could work out really well, especially since Licks just does not have much military right now. Or if, well, he has 12 military, which is more than Max, but they're split up. They're unupgraded. Crossbows and Bodkin coming in, but I think these knights might be reasonably effective here. We'll see. Quick wall up on the gold at the back. Going to keep his villagers safe for now. Max might end up losing these knights here. He's got to run. This game definitely certainly, well, you can just see how this game has a very different pace to the last one, right? This game is much more slow paced. Last game was incredible. This game has been a lot more sort of slow, methodical, and I think it's the nature of both of these civs anyway. The Vietnamese are a civ which thrive from Castle Age onwards, I feel. Same for the Ethiopians. So now we're in the Castle Age, things are going to start heating up a little bit. There's that siege workshop from Max which we were expecting. He has also gone for the second TC on the gold. he could garrison that, kill these skirms quickly here before they take down his villagers. I know they're only skirmishers, but now they've got +2, so they're actually going to do a bit more damage over here. Max, though, still focusing on roaming with his knights, and it looks like Lix is very quickly getting to the point of critical mass with these crossbows. Bear in mind, they do have 41 health now, so how much does that help them? 6 additional health? Don't think it allows them to tank an extra shot. Or maybe it does. No, it doesn't. Not if the knights have +1. I don't think it helps them. No. It would help them, actually. They could tank an additional shot. Max would need to get +2 attack in order to kill the crossbows in the same number of hits if they had less health, I think. I'm not sure. We've also got a monk coming out for Max now. Yes, that is true, actually. The 41 health does put them over the line in terms of tanking a mangonel, which is quite significant, actually. It's something that I didn't touch on before. That 41 health, a mangonel does 40 damage. The crossbow resists 1 of that damage, so the mangonel does 39. Since it has 41 health, it can survive a mangonel shot with 2 health, giving them a little bit of a get out of jail free card, I suppose. If you do have a miss micro, you're not punished so severely for it, making the Vietnamese a nice civ in the castle age when you're going into those crossbows. Hey, Casper Carter in the chat. How's it going, man? I'm doing very well. Enjoying the game so far. And Falapt as well, watching it work. Well, as long as you can get away with it without angering your boss, I'm sure it's fine. Anyway, Max is dealing with this tower back here, just taking it out with this ram. And meanwhile, Lix is throwing down the castle, as we talked about earlier on. He is going for that castle quite quickly, as really like a defensive castle, because he, as we said, doesn't really have much defense in place. He'll also be able to take down the 2 towers with it, positioned very nicely between them, and get his main gold back and his stone back, which is obviously very handy. Now, this is the problem for Max now. I'm not sure I'm liking this. I mean, going full knights into Vietnamese crossbows. These knights don't get bloodlines, remember. They're not nearly as tanky. And Lix is even getting some monks into the picture here as well. Gonna quickly hammer away at that mangonel there with his tower garrisoned up quickly. But can he stop this? Can he get the conversions on the knights? 1 conversion on the knight will immediately allow him to turn this around and kill the monk. Kill the mangonel. But Lix did skip leg day on his monks. He does not have sanctity, doesn't have 45 health. He can't tank a mangonel shot. That works very well in Max's favor in this engagement. But for now, Max is pushed back, and he cannot engage this gold. He is pushing Lix off the gold, but as we saw, the castle is up. Lix is back on his main gold now, with a TC up there. So Lix is on 3 TCs. We've got Max actually going up to his 4th TC now. I believe that's number 4. Wait, no, I'm wrong. No, it is number 4. Yeah, he did build a TC up here. So that is TC number 4 for Max. Ethiopians, they do want to go for a big boom. They do want to get that to the late game where they can take advantage of their superior siege. If Max can get to that position, he'll be very happy. The castle age could be a bit dicey, though. I do feel like Lix is going to have an edge here now. And he's also saving for the castle, or another castle. Bloodlines is absolutely important. An extra 20 HP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got 10 knights here. That's an extra 200 HP in your health pool. A crossbow does 7 damage, minus the 4 armor. So they do 3 damage to a knight. So now you've got an extra 200 health in your pool, and each crossbow does 3 damage. That makes them incredibly tanky in the face of the crossbows, compared to having just 100 health. So it is really important. The armor upgrades, of course, help, but don't underestimate bloodlines at all. It's a really crucial tech. Nice play by Max anyway, though, with the mangonels here. The 3 mangonels. And it's interesting, he's attacking from this north side. This is like the opposite direction from which you'd expect based on his TC location. But I think Lix may want to come back with his Rattan archers here and try and defend a little bit. He went for the counter attack. but he needs to bring these guys home. And I guess this is the issue with the Vietnamese here. What do they do in the Castle Age to deal with the siege? Obviously, the crossbows can tank a mangonel shot, but he really doesn't want to be tanking them if he can help it. I believe the Vietnamese do get bloodlines, actually. He could make better knights, but Max has a decent number of monks out. Oh, huge shot from Max. Really nice use of the mangonels there. And okay, Max is now suddenly feeling way ahead in this game. It's a really good aggression from him. And Showtails really, I mean, no, I don't think Showtails are a great choice here compared to Knights. They have a lot less health, less armor. They would melt in the face of archers. Now, the interesting thing here is that the Rattan Archer actually has less health than the crossbow, which makes the Rattan Archer worse than crossbows at dealing with mangonels. And that's interesting because that's their stronger, unique unit. When you consider that it's the melee armor that negates mangonel damage. So these guys would die in one hit to the mangonels, whereas we know that the crossbows can tank it like we talked about earlier on. Of course, Max has 3 mangonels, or had 3, so there's no tanking that. But still, oh, this is huge. Max coming over to the north side as Lix tries to go up here to get to the gold. And Max is like, hello, I can smell some villagers. Going to hunt them down. But Knights here going to get caught up with the Rattan Archers. The monks from Lix at the back could turn this fight. Max has to run away. And those Rattan Archers, they are better at dealing with the Knights than the crossbows. They do have a better attack damage, if I'm not mistaken. Lix is going for his second castle soon, I think. He's been pushed off of the stone, though, so he's struggling to get the remaining stone that he needs. So it was really wise of Max, I think, to attack in this direction. Pressure Lix off of the stone. He's delaying that castle considerably, and that's really important. He doesn't want Lix getting a big mass of Rattan Archers up. And for Max, I mean, he may decide to go into the Cavalier. He can't progress further than that, but with enough knights out, it could be justified. I don't know if he would justify it with this many. For now, he's just going to focus on siege by the looks of things. With 5 mangonels rolling over, maybe we'll see Max going straight into Onager here, as that seems to be a sensible decision. He is going straight Onager. Called it. And he's also now going for chainmail armor as well. He doesn't have a castle up right now. But chainmail will come in eventually, I imagine. Yeah, he's going Halbs. Now, Halbs is an interesting choice. Obviously, Lix is going to be 100% archers at this stage of the game. And you might wonder, well, why would he make Halbs? They're just going to die to the archers. And, well, yeah, that's the whole idea of it. That's the whole goal, guys. You want to get those Halbs in front to tank for the onagers. It doesn't matter if they die. They're cheap as chips. The Ethiopians get the halberdier upgrade for free. Why not spam some halbs in front? Use them as a bit of a meat shield and let the onagers rip from the back. That's the goal there for Max. Now the issue he's got at the moment, and we saw this in the Escape Gaming Masters at the weekend, is that onagers are all well and good, but they're bad at pushing. You can't push into a castle with onagers, because the castle will just destroy them before they get close. So Max right now has this army of onagers. He's got a ram, he's got a decent number of knights even, but he actually can't push right now. He can't push into this. Lix gets a castle on the hill at the right side. He just can't push into it. He needs something more. He needs capped ram or siege ram. He needs to get some trebs, perhaps. He's a bit late to build his castle, so although he is faster to the Imperial Age, and okay, it's going to help him getting the techs a little faster, his push is not really going to be too effective just yet because he can't really find an angle. Elite Rattan Archer is in for Lix right now, and even with Elite Rattan Archer, 40 health on these guys, they are going to die horribly to the onagers. Of course, Max is going to avoid making any archers this game, even though the Ethiopians do get faster firing archers. Against the Vietnamese, you don't want to enter into an archer war. But Max has now found his angle. He's got an angle on the TC where he's out of range of this castle. And there we see the play of Lix right now, which is the battle elephants coming through. Lix does get bloodlines. And those battle elephants are going to be very beefy. Of course, the halbs are going to work well for the battle elephants here. And nice by Lix. Gets 2 picks. with his mangonel onto the onagers of Max, keeping his TC alive for now as the Treb from Max deploys onto the castle. Rattan Arch is looking for the counter-attack as we speak, and we've got the battle elephants for Lix coming out strong. Now I'm wondering how these are going to fare, because obviously the halbs from Max are already in place. Again, the halbs are also going to be great at dealing with shock units. Units that can run in, try and snipe the onagers. Most cavalry. But yeah, I think right now Lix's battle elephants may not be the answer, since Max is already well prepared with halbs, +4 defense. Lix doesn't have elite battle elephant yet, and these guys are going to go down insanely quickly. Like, halbs do huge bonus damage to elephant. It's ridiculous. Max now has great map control as well. Another castle on the hill. And Lix might be better off going into... Oh, that's nice. Rattan Arch is at the back. Oh, and the onager, the onager, the onager, the onager! Oh, wow. Lix moving out of position at the last second. Taking quite a bit of damage, but not losing too many units there. Let me tell you, these Rattan Archers are fantastic. They just have to avoid the siege. And if they can do that, they'll be able to... Oh, okay. Well, there's the problem, isn't it? Therein lies the problem. They can't just ignore the siege and avoid the siege. Max showing us how it's done. Popping out 2 onagers. And most of the Rattan Archers for Lix just die immediately. So I'm really wondering how Lix is going to be able to push into Max here. How he's going to be able to break this stranglehold from Max. What's he going to be able to do? Max is chipping at him. He's chipping away with his trebs now. He's working on this hill on the left side. He's got the superior economy at this stage. And I'm just wondering how Lix is going to approach this. Obviously, we see battle elephants and Rattan Archers. I don't think that could possibly work. The TC on the left side's gone. Going down to the onagers there in the end. And yeah, Lix is struggling really to find a way forward here. Elite battle elephant coming in. Okay, that's going to take some time. We already see mass halb out from Max here. In fact, I'm sure Max was probably happy to lose his knights earlier on. Make space for more pikemen. More halbs. Here they are up on the east side as well. Max has such great map control, and I feel like the map control is kind of winning Max the game at the moment. Lix will push out with his own trebs, try and take down the castle here. And I guess, you know, the Rattan Archers can try and deal with the halbs quite well, and then the battle elephants can come up the rear. This could be a nice fight for Lix. He does get elite battle elephant done. Max is trying to converge on his position. And both players do have scary armies. Max got to avoid that castle. But there you go. The fight coming in now. The Rattan Archers being zoned out by the onagers. Allowing the halberdier to fight versus the elephants here. And Max, this is the powerful thing for him. I think he has much more zoning potential. His onagers are just too scary. And those elephants at the back, 2 of them getting converted. The rest being taken down by the halbs. And Max now trying to get some big onager shots. Nice micro from Lix. But even though Max has lost all of those onagers, I feel like their job was already done. Okay, it's great if you hit a huge onager shot and you get, you know, crazy value and, you know, a big bada boom, as Mem would say. But the key of those onagers is to zone. They completely zoned the Rattan Archers out of that fight, allowing Max to clean up the trebs, allowing Max to clean up the elephants, and those are the expensive units from Lix. Those are the ones that are costing him an arm and a leg. But right now, this probably isn't going to be too nice. The Rattan Archers backed up against this building fortification, or like foundation. The Rattan Archers kind of getting surrounded though, and having to move out again because the mangonel, the onager, the threat of the onager is just too much. Rattan Archer numbers for Lix being whittled down a little bit. Now, the scores are quite close. Can Lix hold on here? Max is coming in from the south as well, raiding everywhere he can. And like I say, the map control for Max is off the charts right now. And that is something that is winning him a lot of engagements, getting him a lot of eco raiding. Look at this gold in the north. Lots of dead bodies up here from the raiding. Again, the same story in the south as he loses villagers on the wood down here. And Lix is just feeling pressure from all sides at the moment. Now, obviously, Bombard Cannon for Lix, as you guys in the chat are pointing out, could be an option. But I'll tell you why it's not an option. He can't afford it. He's pushed off his main gold. He's mined out the gold at the back. The gold in the north is nice. He's really lucky, in fact, that he has 2 extra golds up here. In fact, Max has no bonus golds. In fact, it's Max who's pushed off of the gold entirely right now. He's mined out nearly. Apart from this. Oh, no, never mind. I lied. There's actually gold in the back. I didn't see it on the minimap. But either way, Lix does still have these 2 bonus golds in the back, but he's zoned out for now. This castle is a huge castle for Lix, really helping to lock that area down. But he can't afford to go Bombard Cannon. Bombard Cannon from Max? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think Bombard Cannon for Max would be that useful. I think the Onagers do the job just fine. And here he is once again with a bunch more Onagers. More Trebs as well, going for the castle here. Using the Onagers to attack ground, try and take down the Halbs. One more shot. Oh, man, narrowly missing so many. He's going to end up killing his own units if he fires into here. But I tell you what, those Raton Archers are really good at coming in and picking off the Onagers here. They do a lot of damage, actually. But it looks like Lix is going to lose another castle. No way to avoid that, I think. Lix does not have any repairers on it. The castle will fall. And when he loses his castles, he also loses his Raton Archer production. And that's something really worth noting as well, is that Max is not relying on castles for military production. He can afford to drop his castles in very offensive locations. Knowing full well that, okay, if I lose a castle, it's not the end of the world for me. I don't need my castles to make my military. Whereas Lix does. And Lix is only on 2 castles right now, so his Raton Archer production is going to be hindered because of that. Max continuing his push in here. Hey, Terseverse, I am back, indeed. A Diablo player, welcome to the stream. But yeah, I do feel like Max has played this way. He's played a very slow, steady game. He's not really, he's not gone for like some high pressure rush strat. He's just taking it easy, and Siege Onager is now on the way. And Siege Onager might be a game changer for Max. This could be key. The increased blast radius is really going to help him out. The damage isn't so necessary, but the blast radius is really important. And there you go. Immediately doing damage. And also, not even just the blast radius, but the extra pierce armor. They go up from 7 to 8, and the extra health as well. That's important too. That means that the Raton Archers can't snipe them nearly as easily. He's also going for Siege Engineers now for the extra range. And you'll see the upgrade there coming in. So, Siege Onagers now absolutely key for Max. I don't think that Lix would be able to stop them without Bombard Cannons at this point, but huge raid from Lix at the back. Holy crap. He just killed a lot of villagers back there. Max still has the villager lead, interestingly enough, but Lix must have killed 15 or so vills on the wood line as Max moves forward now, and he's aware of that. But Max is slowly but surely just chipping away at Lix's base, slowly just whittling him down. Watch the honor jets coming in. He's gonna miss. Okay, he's not really microing the onager there. A little disappointing. What's better, Siege Onagers or Onager with Torsion Engines? Good question, actually. Very good question. I think it depends on the unit that you're fighting. I would say that Siege Onager is better initially. As your first upgrade, you want to get Siege Onager first. And the reason for that is because Siege Onagers do have slightly larger blast radius, but more importantly, the health and the armor is going to obviously give them a lot more longevity, and they're going to be able to get a lot more shots in before they die. I think that's the important thing. They're also able to kill their own units more effectively. But after that, Torsion Engines. I would say Siege Onager first, definitely. I think there's a very small number of situations where torsion engines might be better, but I'm not able to think of something off the top of my head right now. But I don't know if I touched on this. I made a video about torsion engines a while back. There's a long video about torsion engines. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video about whether it's better to get torsion engines first or not. Max here did take down the monastery as well, so Lix is denied of 3 relics for now. They both have 1 each for now. Ah, okay, you're right, Spam. I did make a video about that, and I did conclude that Siege Onager was first, so yeah, I think so. I didn't take cost into consideration right now, no, but I'm fairly certain that, yeah. Yeah, Tim put my video in the chat. Cool, nice. Yeah, I made a video on this like a year and a half ago or something like that. So it's out there. Look at these guys go though. I don't know if he actually got torsion engines. I can't remember seeing it. But those Rattan archers are toast. Holy shit, he killed all of them. Every single one. Look at that, it's a massacre. Lix down to 120 population right now. He's being raided. He's holding on for dear life. But he's really not got much to hold on to anymore. What has he got? These 4 trebs, this hill, this 2 castles, and no gold remaining. So Lix now up against the wall, a brick, you know, back against the wall situation. That was very nice from Max, right there. Very good stuff. As Max is looking to close this one out now. I don't see Lix realistically holding on. 80 villagers versus 120. The best thing he can hope for now is to get some good trades, and that's made harder and harder by the fact that these onagers are devastating. More Badabooms on this right-hand side. Lix just can't seem to do anything here to stop this now. 113 pop versus 170. Max with full map control, as he has had for the entirety of the game so far. And I think it's time for Lix to consider the GG at this stage. He is trying to reboom up in the north, but Max is very wise to that. He already knows where to go, what to do. And it's really, I would consider Max's playstyle this game as to really just be a stranglehold. You know, he's just had Lix in a headlock for the entirety of the late castle to Imperial age. And the few times Lix has pushed out, he's done some damage, but it's just nothing in comparison to this. I mean, this was once the thriving base of Lix. His TC started over here. His main gold is here. His stone is here, and it's now all Max's. As he gets pushed back into the corner of the map and he loses ground over and over here. He does have a lot of trebs. It's interesting. He's got like 8 trebs at the moment, just kind of positioned around. But Max's slow, steady push is probably going to be able to end Lix in the next few minutes here. He's going to take down the monastery once again, deny those 4 relics from Lix once again. Lix here losing his elephants very quickly to the Halbs. That's ridiculous how quickly they go down. They're so hard countered. And Max is, like I say, just slowly but surely pushing through. And I don't know, I mean, Lix is playing on, but he's going to realize very soon that he really doesn't have a chance. He's got 25 military versus 90. Max now completing Hussar on the left side. And okay, they don't have bloodlines. We've been through this already. But that's more than enough to raid and kill off whatever eco was left from Lix on that northeast side. So GG from Max. A very well played game by him. He was in full control for a long time. And I did say going into this game, Ethiopians for me, they are the Civ win. And Max showing us how it's done there. Getting to that late game, making sure to get those onagers, siege onagers. Supporting it with the free halbs, of course. Well, not completely free. He has to pay the cost of the halbs, but the free upgrades. And just commencing that slow and steady, methodical push. Very well played. And Max will equalize the score 1-1 in this best of 5 for King of the Desert. That game was over an hour long. That was a very long one. I don't expect to see all games going that long. But that's the kind of game to expect with these civs, I think. I think Ethiopians, once they're in the game, unless they do some kind of Drush Fast Castle shenanigans, you're really expecting to see a post-Imperial duking it out, I guess, in the post-Imperial age. So GG, we're going to back out, and we are going to see what's coming up next very shortly, as we will have Game 3 on the